Guys, we have to talk about a couple things. You might have noticed in the title that colleges are selling us something. What in the world could they be selling us? I mean, colleges shouldn't be selling us anything, but they're notorious for shoving terrible products down people's throats, like private student loans, federal student loans, credit cards, degrees and degree plans that don't lead to anything that we want to really do in life. An article was just released by the New York Times that tells us the new multi-billion-dollar industry that colleges are now trying to tap into, and the type of products they're trying to sell to you and your kids if you have kids in college. Now, if you see an ad at a college campus or a college football game or something, you might see something kind of wholesome like betterhelp.com. You might see something relatively physically healthy like, hey, join our gym and eat good food here and stay on a diet. Or they could be community driven, like come join our club and meet new people on campus. When a college supports an ad or pushes a product to its students, you would like to believe that it's in the best interest of the student and not the college. You would like to believe that they think that they know what's best for their students. And you would want to believe that these colleges want the best living practices for these students in one of the most crucial developmental stages of their young adult life. Well, that's not the case anymore. Before we get into the article, let me ask you a question. What do you think is the fastest growing addiction in America today? I'll give you a second to kind of think of your guesses. No, it is not drugs. It is not alcohol. It rhymes with online pornography. It's sweeping the nation and tearing families apart piece by piece. Now, I'm gonna ask you a second question. What do you think is the second largest and fastest growing addiction in America today? It's in fact gambling. Like I said, New York Times released an article that explains what disgusting act colleges all around America are doing to their students, and they're calling it Caesarizing the campus. Sports betting has been around for a long time, and betting on campus isn't something extremely new, but it's relatively new. It started in 2020, but in 2021, an email was exchanged between the Associate Athletic Director and the Athletic Director for Michigan State University. And recently, that email has become uncovered. In the article, it explains that Paul Shager, the Michigan State College co-athletic director, sent the athletic director, Ellen Haller, a message about how they could generate millions of dollars for the program. Now, part of their job, according to the Michigan State Athletics website, is for them to actually help with branding, marketing, ticket sales, revenue generation, etc. You might be thinking to yourself, well, they're just doing their job. It's better for the university, it's better for the kids, it's better for the students, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. That is false. That's a big fat lie. And that's how they want you to feel about what they're doing across the United States. You also might be thinking to yourself, well, the college, the athletics program, it needs money to operate. They're just trying to make up some money. Well, I'm here to tell you that they do not need that money, and it is not, in fact, for the kids. According to Michigan State University, they generate anywhere from $120 million to $150 million in gross revenue. Now that's just ticket sales, concessions, and merchandise sold at games. That doesn't account for any TV deals, any endorsements that they might have through the coaches or the faculty or the program itself, or TV deals. In fact, their head coach, after endorsements, will make about $10 million per year. I promise you, they are definitely not short on cash. But let's take a step back and really ask ourselves, why does this matter? What does this all mean, and how do we interpret it? They did, in fact, do that deal with Caesars that was mentioned in the email. It actually turned out to be about $10 million over the course of a few years. For me, personally, it's not the money that I have the issue with, it's the intent. As many as 10 million Americans live with a confessed gambling addiction. Last year, in 2021, a poll was taken, and more than a quarter of students confessed to having gambling issues. Also in 2021, Americans spent $53 billion on gambling. Let's kind of put that into perspective. In 2021, the United States government spent $17.8 billion on energy. So that means us as Americans are spending 4 times the amount on gambling that the United States government spends on energy. Additionally, 2/3 of addicted gamblers engage in criminal activity related to gambling. On top of that, men gamble twice as much as women. Colleges are supposed to be responsible for their student bodies. They're not supposed to be shoving the second largest growing addiction in America down the throats of their student body. Young adults like myself tend to be gullible and naive. Now, when colleges take advantage of those traits solely for financial gain, that's where I have an issue. Instead of signing deals with companies and organizations that focus on physical health, mental health, financial health, and all those other sorts of things, they are making millions of dollars off the backs of the students that attend their universities. You might be thinking to yourself, these kids, they're adults and they can make their own decisions. They are big boys and big girls, and we shouldn't have to hold their hands through all these types of things. But when they're getting bombarded with these types of products and ads and revenue streams that they don't understand, I think it's criminal. It's a terrible, terrible thing that a university would do to its student body. We as people and the colleges as universities and organizations, they should be taking these young adults under their wings and showing them what right really looks like. Gambling is super addictive. I love poker. I love going to casinos. I love all the lights and all that stuff. But at some point you have to realize this is unhealthy. When you're younger, it takes you a little longer to realize that point. I really hope these colleges and other universities take a step back and look at what they're doing, realize how unhealthy it is, and I hope that they change their stance on the decisions that are being made in the universities. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.